Hello everyone, welcome to Student Guide. Today we will discuss about electronic components. Electronic components are basically used in electric circuit for different applications. So before moving to discussion about electronic components, let us define about electric circuit. Electric circuit is an interconnection of different electrical components for some particular application. In other words, this electronic circuit is a circular path of conductors by which electric current flows through the interconnected electrical components. In order for the current to flow through electric circuit, there should be a closed path. That means there is a move for electric current from positive power supply to negative power supply without interruption. If there is any interruption in the circuit is called open circuit. So this is a very important point to keep in mind while discussing about electronic circuit. So let us see three basic elements that electric circuit has. The first basic element is voltage source. For electric circuit, this is very mandatory because in order for the current to flow through the circuit, there should be a voltage source in the form of battery or AC power supply, because the source of this electric current is a voltage source. The second basic component is conductive path. Conductive path is a path through which the current flows in the circuit. It is a kind of a wire we use for different prototyping tools, or the path, a path of conductive material on printed circuit board. The third basic element is load. There must be a load that consumes the power coming from the voltage source. This load could be resistor, it could be motor, it could be light bulb, and other output devices in our circuit. So let us see some commonly used electronic components in different electronic systems. The first common element or component is resistor. Resistor, as the name indicates, it is the component that resists the flow of current in our electronic circuit. This is actually used to reduce the potential. Sometimes we may need to protect our components from getting burned out. So in that case, we need to specify the amount of resistor needed for that component. For example, we may have a sensor in our design. In that case, there is a limited or a given amount of current that needs to flow through the sensor. In order to manage the current flow, we use protective resistor. So in order to calculate the amount, the value of the resistor used for protection purpose, we divide the subtraction between supply voltage and the voltage rating of the sensor to the current rating of the sensor, which actually helps us to find out what protective resistor is needed. The second component is capacitor, which is a device that is used for storage of electrical charge in temporary basis. This is because capacitors store electricity for later use. That means when there is a drop in voltage in the circuit, it discharges the energy, then the circuit or the system will work without interruption. In addition to this, it can be used for starting purpose, especially for components that needs high energy. For example, compressor or motors needs high energy. Some compressors actually needs high energy during startup. In that case, the capacitor gives additional energy to the already existing power supply, so that the compressor will start automatically. Inductor is also another component we use in electronic system. It is the passive electronic component which stores energy in the form of magnetic field. So the difference here is capacitor stores energy in the form of electric field, while inductors stores energy in the form of magnetic field. So it is a conductor coil. Actually, it is currently not being used in most of electronic system due to the large space they take, as you see from the image. Diode is another special component we use in electronic system. It is the device or the component that lets current flow only in one direction. As you know, diode has two terminals, the anode and the cathode terminal. So current will flow through diode only if we apply the positive voltage to anode and the negative voltage to cathode. If we reverse the polarity, the current will not flow through this component. This is the special property of cathode. So due to this, we use diodes in different electronic systems to route electricity, which is we may don't want to electricity to flow to some particular point. In order to prevent the current flow to that particular point, we use diode. Another important use of diode is in rectification, which means conversion of alternating current to direct current, main AC supply voltage to DC supply voltage by using full wave rectifier. Another special type of diode is light emitting diode, which has the same property with ordinary diode. This light emitting diode gives light when we apply the positive voltage to anode terminal and the negative voltage to cathode terminal. So as you see from the picture, the light emitting diode has two terminals, the longest and the shortest terminal. The longest one is positive and the shortest one is negative. So in order to get light from this bulb, we need to give positive voltage to the longest terminal and ground to shortest terminal. If we reverse the polarity, we will not get light from this. Transistor is another component we see today, which is a three-terminal device by which we control the current flows through the collector and the emitter by applying voltage to the base terminal. So we have three terminals: base, emitter, and the collector. So we can control the current flows through those two terminals. We call collector and emitter by applying the voltage on the base. So there are applications like amplification role, and it can be also used as a switch. So it is one of the components that we use commonly in electronic system. Relay is another important component. It is an electrically operated switch. So you know, a switch we use in our home, which is a manual switch to turn on or off the lights. In the manual case, we need to go by ourselves. It needs our action to turn off and on. In case of relay, it is an automatic one. We just give voltage to energize the relay so that it will automatically turn off and on the output device connected to the relay. That means inside the relay we have electromagnet. So for example, if the relay is energized by 5 volt, we supply 5 volt to the coil that turns the that forms electromagnetic energy. So that electromagnet will attract the metal, which is used for contact point. So as you see, the common one is the input voltage. So initially it is on normally closed position. When the relay is energized, this position will be changed to the normally open position. So by doing this, we can turn the relay on and off, or we can control the auxiliary devices connected to the relay. Finally, we will see integrated circuit, which combines different electronic components. It's a special one that combines transistor, diodes, and other elements together by photographically etching into tiny piece of silicon. So there are different varieties of integrated circuits, including PIC, programmable integrated circuits, that needs the user instruction code or program in order to give the desired application from it. So this is all for today. Before we go to simulation of electronic circuit using Proteus simulation software. Thank you.